Welcome back to my channel. This is Dom and I've just come back from Salute and I thought I'd do my obligatory haul video from the rearranged 2020 Salute. Just a couple of impressions, and I'll show you some video footage of some of the games and also around the hall, but just some sort of initial impressions before I go through the loot. I was quite impressed with the attendance. There was a lot of people questioning whether it was as busy as normal or not. It felt pretty reasonable. Now, what Warlords had done, South London Warlords had done was extend the size. So instead of having one of the hangars or one of the rooms of the XL centres, they had two. It cost them apparently about £10,000 more, but it allowed things to be spaced out a lot more, which meant a bit more comfort, a bit more possibility of social distancing, but it also meant that it didn't feel quite as crammed as a normal Salute did, certainly not in the morning anyway. And so I think consequently it was difficult to exactly judge how busy it was in the show. I caught up with Mac, who you'll know if you saw the Plastic Crack podcast when he was on talking about organising Salute, and he was pretty upbeat. He said that footfall was slightly down, a bit down on last time they ran Salute, but actually was not as far down as they were expecting, and he was actually very upbeat. He said the traders on the whole were very positive, and you know, there seemed to be a lot of money being spent, a lot of people having fun. The one area he did say was hugely disappointing is that it had a lot of dropouts of participation in demo games. A number of people who said they were going to come just didn't turn up, which was very disappointing and very difficult for him and his team to organise properly, because it just meant there were tables sitting around empty because they didn't know they weren't turning up, which is a bit concerning. Also, they had quite a lot of last-minute trader dropouts for various reasons, and some of the traders sort of didn't seem to have such big stands as previous years, but they seem to all be doing pretty brisk business from what I could see, so positive on that score. We'll see. Time will tell. I mean, as Max said himself, you know, the fact it's a different time of year, there's a lot of trade shows on at the moment in the UK. You know, they kind of, I think he thought it'd be a lot worse than it actually was, and it wasn't. Now, I enjoyed the show. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed catching up with a lot of friends, meeting up with some people, and just having a chance to look around. Now, there certainly wasn't as many traders as in past years, and I'm not sure the quality of the games on display. There were some extremely good ones, and you know, so you'll see some footage of that in a minute. But I think as a whole, a lot of the games were there weren't as many games as previous years, and that was a shame, because it's not just a shopping experience, it's supposed to be a visual experience. But overall, I really enjoyed my day. Had a great day, picked up some good goodies, and enjoyed seeing some of the traders, talked to some of the people we've spoken to on the crack, and you know, some of the people I talk to via YouTube on a regular basis. So that was great. So I'll just take you through some of my haul, and then we'll get to some video of the day. Theme of the day was D-Day. D-Day? Not D-Day. Battle of Britain. That's what it says on there, Dom. 1944. And they had a rather nice miniature, which is a boy with his Spitfire playing in the field. Absolutely beautiful model. Sculpted by our friend Paul Hicks. Really great sculptor. And that's a really nice gift. Really nice one. That was in the bag when he came through. So let's have a look. So I've done a separate video on this, but here you can see the Warlord Epic Sprue. Wargames Illustrated had some advanced copies of their December edition, which is going to have one sprue of the heavy cavalry. You could have had the British heavy cavalry or the French heavy cavalry. At the show, if you bought the magazine and you were a Prime member, which I am, they gave you an extra sprue as well. So that was rather nice. So I got a chance to get one of each. and I think they're pretty impressive. Quite interested to see. But there's a video which hopefully will be out by the time you watch this one, talking about Epic and my experiences with these. So I won't go into that, but there should be a link in the description and on the screen now. Now, one of the things I was very excited about doing was catching up with Dave and the team at Offensive Miniatures, because they had this special set, which they only had a certain number. I think they only had 30 at the show. I believe they're going to go up on their website very soon. But for any of us of a certain age who were into their Second World War fictional books, you will be well aware of the Sven Hassel books. It was a it wasn't presented as a fictitious, but I'm pretty sure it was a fictitious set of stories about a private in a penal battalion of the SS, fighting mainly in the Eastern Front, and the adventures of Sven Hassel and his various squad, all tank crews, fighting largely as infantry, but also occasionally as tanks. And Offensive Miniatures got the rights from the Sven Hassel estate to reproduce these figures. And so if you are familiar with the book, or the books, you'll be very, very familiar with these figures. And I won't remember who half of them are, because it's been about 10 years, or no, probably longer than that, since I read the books. And I'll probably go and get them out of the loft again because of this. But here are these rather nice figures. A sniper. And this would make a really nice little squad. With a Russian submachine gun. Lovely model. There's top hat on. I think the one with the he's got a bowler hat, sorry, and the guy with the top hat, and I think this is Porter, if I remember rightly, with the monocle. Really nice models, really nice models. And these will be brilliant in a squad, or even as a squad on their own. So there you go, that's the Sven Hassel set, which I just had to have for old time's sake. There's 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. Slightly expensive, £25, but I guess they had to get the license from the Sven Hassel estate to be able to do them, and that probably cost them extra money. And they're a collector's thing, right? If you're into the books, you'll love these. Fantastic little models. So say, I believe they're going to be on their website at some point soon. So if you weren't at Salute, you could pick these up. So check out Offensive Miniatures. Lovely models. So the dastardly influence of Martin, and actually I have to say my mate Graham, was we went back after we'd had a couple of beers and went back to Great Escape Games, and they were picking up various groups for Dead Man's Hand, and I fancied this one. This is the Other 7, not the Magnificent 7 obviously, but the Other 7. I just thought they looked really, really cool, so I went for them. So box set of them, 20 quid for the normal squad for 7 models. I won't open them up just yet, I'll show them in time, but you can see them from here. There's the Indian. All the various characters that you'll be very familiar with if you've seen the Magnificent 7. Not that this is the Magnificent 7, obviously, but that was one of my sets. I also picked up this thing. Been really impressed with how 3D printing is picking up and improving the quality of terrain and models and figures. And I saw this on the IGS Miniatures site page, the Iron Gate Scenery it's called. I just thought it was absolutely phenomenal. Let me just open it up and get it out. £14 this cost. but it'll be a really good centerpiece to fight over in a medieval game. Very, very impressive piece of 3D printing. Don't want to break it. Got the rope in there, so you can set it up how you like. Obviously that doesn't go, the rope holds onto that. A really sweet piece of 3D printing and be a great asset to the table. Even moving parts. Look at that. I think that's fabulous. Really impressed with that. So the other thing I did say I was probably going to do, and I did, was to buy into the Victrix 12mm range. I'm definitely going to do a group using this, and I want to build an American and a German army for it. So I picked up 6 of the Shermans. I picked up some German infantry. I picked up some more Shermans. No, that's not Shermans. That's the half tracks. Panzer IVs. I did get a bit carried away. Some Stugs, because every army needs Stugs. And some Hanamags. So that was rather a lot of money I spent there. I did want some American infantry, but sadly Victrix themselves weren't there, and I couldn't actually find anybody selling the American infantry. So I'm just going to have to deal with what I've got so far, but this should keep me busy for a while. And I saw some of the models. There's a game coming up, you'll see in the footage of the games, which was absolutely superb looking game, using O group rules and on 15mm. And there was also another really, really good game which was using a different set of rules. In fact, it was using this set of rules, which was using these very Victrix models, and they looked superb. Really, really good, and I think even I could paint them up. The infantry might be a little bit more of a challenge, but we do like a challenge on this channel. So that was my big investment. A massive number of Victrix 12mm Second World War figures. And the other thing I did, which you never can have enough of, is some books. Now this may give you a hint about something I'm thinking about doing for the future. There's some Swiss, a book of this is the Osprey Swiss at War. The guy I bought this from on one of the stands was a bit piffed actually, because it was in the £5 box, and he said, "Blimey, that's in really immaculate condition." It's actually a first edition of this book, 1979. He said, "Blimey, it's in good condition," and I think he rather wished he'd charged more for it. But anyway, it was in the £5 one, so I got that. So that's the Swiss at War. I also picked up this one, which is the campaign of Leipzig 1813, from Peter Gilder and Jeff Parker, which is a really nice old book, and I really like. Leipzig is a fascinating book, battle, and gives me an opportunity to field my Swedes, so that's why I got that one. And I picked up these 2 books as well. This is the Italian Wars Volume 1, Italian Wars Volume 2, which takes you through the various campaigns associated with the war in Italy between 1453 and 1515, basically. No, it's 1495 and 1515. And I just thought, because I think I might be going to head into a bit of Italian wars, it'd be good to do some reading on that. So that was also added to my stash. So basically, that was all I got. All those Victrix added up, for certain. And it was a really enjoyable show, I have to say. It was great to see some friends, great to make new friends, great to catch up with some traders, and I really enjoyed the show. Let me know what you think, if you went along, what you thought of it. Did you think it was a lot quieter than normal? A lot busier than normal? I thought it was about the same, just spread out more myself. But I'm, be interested to see what other people think. Anyway, thanks for watching. hit that subscribe and like button. In the meantime, here is some video that I shot of the day, and I hope you enjoyed your day if you were at Salute, and if you didn't go, I hope to see you at Salute another year. This is Dom, signing out.
The start of Salute 2021, or 2020, I don't even know what year it's supposed to be. People building up, good to see. Exciting day. Go, charging into the Excel Centre, desperate to part with their money. Let's hope for everybody. The overall impression so far is everything's very much more spaced out. There's a lot of traders who aren't here, but there's a lot of traders who are. But they've extended the Excel Centre quite a bit to a stage where you can even get a bloody aircraft in here. In actual fact, you can get two. That's how big it is in here. So they extended the room basically. It looks like there's double the areas, I guess, and all the stands are all spread out as a result, which is good for COVID. Numbers difficult to gauge really because it's still early. Plus there's everything's spread out so much. But I think we'll catch up with a few traders later, see how they're doing. But all good so far. Yeah, these planes. Ridiculous. So here we go, some of the Epics painted up. British.
Looking at online, this is the Waterloo stuff.
All the buildings. Things look good.
So you mentioned at the time, but he mentioned it the other day.
I think I'm still not in range.
Okay, so you're just going to stay?
Yeah, because I've got what half a play sheet with these guys, so I think I'm retaining my orders.
Okay, we'll start carrying sprinting time with the skirmishes then. I'll do this one. Just
Is it a historic reaction or by any definition? Some of the buildings get the most fancy.
So 6 down to 11, 10 plus strategic, and 1 to 5. So 5 pounds 2, now it's 3. Well, our third was only 2, so now he's 1 up on us. So on our 2d6, it's a -1. Remember, another 11, please. 3 11s in a row. 3. 5 down to 4. Here's bonus. So 4 or less is gone. He's blown it up, so. Oh, right. So yeah, 4 or less is blown up. Okay, right, 5 to 6 is damage. 7 to 8 is shot. 9 is bounce.
Half-base ship.
Yeah, no.
It's the spare. I've been drawing those dice.
Basically, they're allowed I don't want to know.
Half a base.
Could, in theory, just take everything off and use it as one gun table. Use it, yeah. We can put a, we can put a breach on somewhere else as well, make 2 bridges. We have talked about some really nasty accidents with carpet, about doing a carpet infestation in the town. So it's like pack rounds and chasing all the rats, if you like, around the town and trying to pick up all the rats. So someone's in charge of all the rats, and we're trying to chase them down. So that would be a nice little one to play with kids. So right, you can chase them down. Yeah.
Guy sitting on the roof.
Well, yeah, that mini originally was sculpted to sit on the wheel of the boat. And Mike did another little sketch.
What about the making of this live at the moment?
Yeah, that's great. I'll definitely do that. Yeah, it's brilliant. Absolutely. Stunning.
So it's kind of game of bolt action as well. So you know bolt action. Still think they were there.
I think they're not supposed to be there at all. No, I think somebody's put them. You can actually have what you would think would be a good thrash on the back end, and then at the end of it, one side of you know what you turn those into? He knows what I'm going to do.
Oh, I see.
I'll reload
Alex
and acquire. So I'm as ready as I could be.
Okay, it's my turn.
I had 2
6 rolled it.
I used 6 of them.
We've taken about the game.
There's a 4-point turn, but I reckon that's the English is coming. They go, yeah, come and pull. Shoot as we go. Treasure. If it comes to shoot, carry the chest on wall and then kick us all off the side. See, where is the chest? We've left it behind. The first action, obviously, is going to bring in second one is a charge.
Yes. Oh God, yeah.
Okay. We did a game we invented some pounds. Especially when they all walk from the group and start speaking to them. So all it means is sitting on the box.